Hello, Darren.
Hola, Darren.
I'm in Spain.
Fancy.
It's quite fancy, actually. I'm in a craft beer here.
Craft beer here.
Yeah, I found a little slice of London in
Very
Oviedo.
nice. Craft beer here could be the name of the next album when Oasis get back together. Craft beer here now.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I can show you my hotel, actually. This is how close I am to my hotel. Hold on.
He's going rogue already.
So that's my hotel.
Oh, that's handy. Handy for the pub.
Yeah, and I got here, and then, because a lot of beer in Spain is Estrella and Cruz Campo. And this place is amazing. Belgian beers, imperial stouts. There's nothing on that list under 5.4%. and I actually came out because I was hungry, and they keep giving me nuts with every beer. So I'm not even hungry now.
Tell us, which city are you in?
Oviedo, up in Asturias. So I'm sort of level with something like Cornwall on an east to west axis, but I'm sort of nearly up to France. So it's a hard place to get to, Oviedo. I mean, I didn't get here directly from London. In fact, in the last week, I have been to Seville, Cadiz, Puerto de Santa Maria, Barcelona, then here. Nice. Really, really nice. I'm so aware of how privileged and adventurous it sounds when I say it like that, which is not what I feel like, and this is not the usual sort of thing I do. And yet here I am. And so it's quite hard to get to Asturias, but it's not like other parts of Spain, but then I think Spain has 4 or 5, 6 even really different regions in terms of landscape and accent or even language. I mean, how many languages are there in Spain? There's 3 at least.
At least 3, yeah.
Hold on, no. Basque, Catalonian, 4. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of languages in Spain. So we're up in the north of Spain, and it's very lush. Lots of cows. They drink cider a lot, and they drink and they eat a bean stew, which is gorgeous. But as soon as you eat it, you fall asleep. Should we talk about Inktober?
Inktober. We've finished it.
Yeah.
Finally finished it.
Oh, by the way, I'm just about to take a sip of my Asturian IPA. Do you want
me to first sip?
So let me tell you about this beer. Let me have a look. It's called Gonna 2, and the brewery is Caleya, Caleya. Still trying to fulfill my eventual wish that Brentwood Tuxedo will get beer endorsements, even if they're from obscure Asturian breweries.
I'm drinking a Kingfisher. It's all right, actually. So, Inktober. Do you want to go through them now, or would you want to sum up now and then go through them? What do you think? Let's go through them.
Okay, so we did this last time, did we? On the update.
No, this is the last one. This was the next one due after the update.
Okay. Right.
So this is day 15.
Okay. So I did this one in a nightclub in Leeds, and I did it at about quarter to midnight. And if I'm honest, this is one of my favorites.
Is it?
Yeah, I did it in really low light. I was incredibly pissed. I met you the next day, actually.
Yeah.
And I really like this one. I like the little smudge on his eye.
Yeah.
I like the quickness of the line. And later on, I stopped worrying about doing it on the day. In fact, my last 10 or so have all been done the day after.
They have.
But
shoddy, very shoddy work.
But this one, this I think this might be my favourite drawing from Inktober. There's no reason for it. There's no reason why it's my favourite. It's just very lively, nice bit of line, and it's just a drawing of an armadillo.
It's got a lot of life in it as well, that armadillo, which is more than you could say for mine, which is completely dead.
Tell me about your armadillo.
Mine's taken from the opening scene of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is it's a very good film for me until the last half an hour, and then it becomes very horrible and unpleasant. Well, that's the point. So in that way, the film succeeds. But yeah, it opens with this dead armadillo. Initially, they were looking for a dead dog. I think it was I'm sure I saw a documentary on the Blu-ray that said the film company wouldn't let them use, or the people making the film decided a dead dog would be too much in this film where people are getting hung on meat hooks and everything alive. Dead dog.
I sort of understand that. I'm more prepared to see children die in films than dogs.
Yeah. You want to watch a bit of Italian crime.
Are you aware of the website doesthedogdie.com?
No.
So it's called Does the Dog Die? And you can enter any film and it tells you whether a dog dies in it or not and gives you the time so you can skip over it.
Brilliant.
Let's put a link in the bio. Should we move on to day 16?
Day 16.
You explain yours
first. The word
first.
was foul. It was foul, the word. So I drew legendary soap character Arthur Fowler from EastEnders.
He stole the Christmas money.
He stole the Christmas money, and that's the shot of him worrying because he doesn't know what he's going to do. He thought he was going to be able to pay it back in time for Christmas, but he couldn't. And God blimey, what am I going to do? And
I'm going to.
I've been
I'm going to confess something now.
I think he confessed.
I think he
went to prison for it.
There was a time when he just he wrecked the front room, but there was also a scene around that time where Pauline Fowler, she just started crying and talking about how hard her life was and how she just wished something would go right. And I would have been maybe 17 or 18, and I cried. EastEnders made me cry around that point. It was a really touching scene with Wendy James. And is it Wendy James? No, it's not Wendy James.
Wendy James from Transvision Vamp.
Who am I thinking of?
Wendy Richards.
Wendy Richards. And she made me cry with her acting. Mine is an egg cup from the DDR.
That is the second time that has appeared in a Brentwood Tuxedo video.
I showed the egg cup before, but didn't show the drawing of it. Is that right?
But it's the second. It's also that image, either the drawing or the object, has only ever appeared in your on location videos.
Okay. Yes. Right. That's true. Yes. I showed it at the airport, didn't I?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So for irregular Brentwood Tuxedo videos, there's a Berlin edition where I showed the actual egg cup. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. That was okay. That wasn't too shabby.
Little egg cup.
Day 16?
17.
Ah, okay.
Oh, salt.
Yeah. What did you do?
Salt Bear. Have you heard of Salt Bear?
No, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on in the picture.
He's a celebrity steak chef.
Okay.
And he somehow manages to persuade rich footballers and stuff and rich idiots, to be honest, to go to his restaurant and pay hundreds of pounds for a steak. And he'll come to your desk and he'll carve the steak for you, slice it all in a very showy manner. And then his pièce de resistance, which is how he gets the name Salt Bay, is he sprinkles salt on it, but he lets it run down his forearm onto the steak because he's an idiot. Although a very rich idiot. But
we've talked about food and culinary snobbery before in this, but I both love and hate that, Yeah. If someone took me there, I'd be all up for it. Yeah, go on, rub the salt on your arm, fine, do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I sort of did something on this day, which I sort of wish I'd done more, because I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to do like salt water, a seaside scene. So I asked Twitter to supply me with an image right now and then. If you are right by the sea, send me a picture.
And all your replies were all right now, weren't they, Darren?
Yeah, everyone read the brief completely and didn't send me a picture from their last holiday. But Rachel, my good friend Rachel, did. She got up out of her flat, walked down to the seafront at Brighton, which you might be able to tell. This might give it away that it's Brighton.
Yeah, that's that tower.
Yeah, it's a tower that's supposed to represent the other pier, and this is a photograph from the other pier. There's two piers. One pier is dilapidated, which I've also drawn a few times. So well done, Rachel. Props to Rachel. For doing that. And I wish I'd done that a bit more, because some days I was really stuck. And I like that sort of thing of Twitter, where you can say, right, someone help me out with this right now. It's a really modern and collaborative way of doing things. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Speaking of piers, because I know you're interested in piers, some more of that West Pier fell into the sea yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, once you sort of declare an interest online,
of course.
Yeah, you are a natural. You have a natural radar for it. Yeah, it's sad, but also it's sad, but also sometimes I think, how can I word this? Sometimes I think what am I trying to say? There's a desire to preserve everything, particularly I think in our sort of social circles on Twitter. Save this cat, save this beer, save this venue, save this, And I think actually the gradual, gentle erosion of Brighton West Pier is quite beautiful, actually. I think it will just crumble into the sea. And I don't know if it is the tragedy that everyone says it is. Things can't last forever.
No, especially piers.
They are a folly, which is why I love them so much. They're such a ridiculous thing. Oh, you're surprised that these things that stand on wood and go out into the sea are falling down. Day 17.
No, 18.
Oh, sorry.
See, you're even a day behind in the reviewing of the images, aren't you? These two I'm very pleased with both of them, but particularly yours. It got a belly laugh from me.
Yeah, thank you. I think this is a big example of you influencing me, because I think this by rights should be a Darren Riley painting, drawing. It is, of course, Mike Baldwin thumping Ken Barlow. I believe behind him is Alma Sedgwick. And I believe here is Jack Duckworth.
Right. And, Jack Duckworth, has he got his barman's apron on?
Yeah, yes. And I was really, I was thinking about you a lot during drawing this, and I was really pleased that how recognisable it was to you and other people. That I consider myself to not be good at likeness, and I'm not necessarily. I think Ken's better than Mike. I think.
I don't think it matters anyway, though. You got the context is such that
exactly
it just straight away when you see it.
Exactly, and it was really fun pretending to be you for a day, because as long as you sort of go in with a certain amount of confidence, and I put this on Twitter and I said, right, everyone, what's it? Oh, by the way, the word is scrape.
Scrape, yeah.
Which actually, to be honest, I think what I'm doing is I'm confusing scrape with scrap.
Well, they're also in a bit of a scrape.
Yeah. As if yours needed explaining, but explain yours.
Yeah, so mine are the... in fact, if you look back at our first 14 days Inktober video, we mentioned a program called Last of the Summer Wine, when I drew a character called Nora Batty. And these are the three main protagonists in the show. We got Compo, Clegg, and Foggy. And they get up to all manner of scrapes.
The OG lineup.
It is. That's the classic, isn't it? Classic lineup.
Really good. I think this could be the best, as you say, this could be the best joint day. Couldn't it? Yeah.
I think it could be.
Yeah. Okay then.
Day 18, no, 19. Day 19. Ah, yes. Ponytail.
Mine is I quite like this as well. I quite like starting to do things that are a bit personal and things that contribute. So this is actually a drawing of my favourite person in the world when she was, I don't know, 11, 12?
Right.
On a pony. So I suppose the ponytail is here. And actually what she has is pigtails.
Yeah.
But as previously discussed, drawing a horse almost as hard as drawing a guitar.
Yeah, difficult horses. Well, I drew England footballer, just retired, Jill Scott. And this was a slight change for me in the Inktober drawings, because this was the first one out of all these that I did without putting any pencil down first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not unusual for me to do that, but for Inktober, I started sketching them out first, just really roughly, and then I did this one straight on. And
yeah, well, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because in a way, Inktober is about, for me, it's been about being more reckless and being more free. And my rule has been no pencil line. I've always gone straight in with ink.
Yeah.
And I feel like you are normally more reckless and straight in. So it's interesting that we slightly reversed ourselves.
Yeah. Although having said that, I'm looking closely and I can see pencil. It's not this one, but I'd started getting more loose. So I remember the sketch for these three fellas, I took quite a bit of time getting the facial placements right and then erasing and moving things.
I think I can safely, yeah. I remember
yeah, go on.
I think I can safely say from this point on, I get more and more reckless.
Well, yeah, this was at the start of me just really roughing the shape out. So just head there, arms there, and that's it. Not much detail. And then, so yeah, getting more free from now on. But I liked that. So
day 19?
20.
Day 20. Still a day behind. Oh, yeah.
I thought you might do something like that because I know you weren't sure what to do, and that was it's basically a physical feature on the landscape or something about the word bluff, is it? Lying.
Yeah, it's a bluff. It turns out in researching this, the difference between a bluff and a cliff is heavily debated.
Right.
And I couldn't quite tell you whether this is a bluff or a cliff, but it certainly came up on the Google image search for bluff.
Yeah. Is that Dover?
So was your painting on the day that we lost our finest Prime Minister?
I think it was, yeah. And I'd already decided to do something regarding Call My Bluff anyway, the popular TV show. And then, yes, she just she handed this to me. Was it literally the day before? She said, "I'm a fighter, not a quitter," and then she quit.
She is the gift that keeps giving, isn't she?
Truly. But hubris is such a wonderful thing in a politician.
I mean, let us never forget that, it would come as no surprise that we are left of centre, and we are very loose. We are very used to losing, and so let's take our wins when we can get them.
Yeah. I enjoyed drawing that. I'll tell you why I enjoyed it. This is really, really geeky, but the body and the head is from a photo of Liz Truss. The arms and the bluff folder thing are that's Giles Corran. The arms and the little notes. I'm pleased that I put the two together to get the right pose.
Giles Corran, also one of life's winners, isn't he?
Yes, yeah. So where's this 21?
Bad Dog.
Yeah. Look at you. You've drawn Minnie, haven't you?
Yeah, Minnie. This is my dog. She has her rosettes. She got first place in the Penge dog show. She got second place in a Knott Grove dog show this summer. But even though she's, of course, doing nothing wrong here, she had genuinely been quite a bad dog. Basically, I was somewhere else and someone was taking care of Minnie, not the person that's taking care of Minnie now. And she barked all through the night and caused my friends great distress. And I was pretty much summoned to come back and collect her. The reason why she's sleeping now is because she spent the whole previous night keeping my friends Liam and Trish awake all night.
Oh dear.
Explain yours.
It's the Beatles recording Hey Bulldog. So I changed it to Bad Dog. This was the first one I drew without pencil. Straight in with pen. Really pleased with it.
I really like it. I really like the amount of I like the balance of black and white. I like the foreground. I'm trying to point to it, and I can't point to your picture. No, I really like this black foreground. It's really good.
Yeah, you got all the piano and then up to the piano lid.
And is that behind Macca? Is that like a music stand?
I
that square.
I'm not sure what it is. I didn't think it was kind of more abstract, isn't it? I think kind of Abbey Road as baffles and things like that.
Yeah, I imagine it to be a music. It's really good. It's really good.
But I do think this is funny. I thought of you when I was doing this one. And it's also, I was really conscious that I decided to do this and a lot more from now on, to not use any hatching at all, whereas you started using hatching for Inktober.
Yeah.
I decided to try and do just black and white and really get a lot of contrast in.
That would be really interesting for me to do. This kind of this cross-hatching technique is in, as I think I'd explained in the last video, it's a real throwback to how I drew when I was a teenager. I loved cross-hatching, and it was completely my style for a while.
Well, it's very, it's very 2000 AD, isn't it? Which I know you used to read a lot.
Is it? Okay, that's where I got it from.
Yeah,
then.
I think so. Yeah, you see it a lot more in 2000 AD than you do in a lot of like Marvel comics and stuff.
Yeah, but I really like your idea of just black and white. I'd like to experiment with that myself.
It's fun. You should try it. It's fun.
Okay, let's go.
22, Heist.
So what's next?
Heist, 22.
Okay. So this is a strange one because for some reason I painted it on a completely different page in the sketchbook, and I must have been drunk or something. Here it is.
There you go. I loved that.
So yeah, wherever possible, I've gone for. As you know, I like painting toys and plastic objects. And so whenever I could turn Inktober into a plastic toy, I would. And so this is a Hamburglar toy that McDonald's gave away in the 1980s. Not a toy I own myself, but just, I don't know, I found an image of it.
I like it. Good. He'd come in and steal your burgers.
Yeah, I don't know. What did the Hamburglar do? Is that? I guess that's what he did.
He tried to pinch burgers off Ronald McDonald and the big purple thing.
Right. It also has a little thematic link for us because of our joint love of burgers.
Yes. Yeah.
Is yours a heist scene from some obscure Italian movie?
It is obscure, I tell you. This is from a film called Roma. I'm not going to pronounce it properly. Roma a mano armata, I think it is. It tends to be known as Rome Armed to the Teeth, which is a great title. And in America, it was The Tough Ones. And these are two of the villains in a bank robbery. The villains in Italian crime films have got the greatest faces in the world. So.
And now I'm noticing this black and white thing. I'm really jealous of it now.
Yeah.
Because it really makes you make some choices, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. You're constantly trying to you push things to the back, and then it's like, is that grey? I can't do. Is it white? Is it black?
Yeah, good. It's interesting. It's the same thing when you paint. As you know, I paint nearly all the time in colour, and when you paint in colour, you realise how much of the world is brown or grey.
Yeah,
when you paint in black and white, you realise how much of the world is in between. You know, the world isn't black and white. Ooh, metaphor. And so, I'm really curious about that challenge you gave yourself. I sort of wouldn't mind doing it myself for a little bit.
Do it. You can. You should do.
What's the next day?
So day 23, Booger. Hated the word for this, but I think we both made a couple of good choices.
Yeah. So I suppose we both knew going into this video we were going to start getting a bit negative about Inktober. And some days I just looked at the word and my heart fucking sank. And I know yours did too. It's like, Booger, I'm like, what the fuck do I draw for that? And it's difficult, isn't it? Because it sounds churlish, because it's not like a competition and you don't win anything. And the idea of these words is supposed to take you outside of your comfort zone, isn't it? You're supposed to draw something, a draw. But at the same time, I was surprised how little of the words made me go, great. Like so few of the words made me think, brilliant, I can't wait to draw that. And this was one of the days where I just thought, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to explain to anyone what we've both done. I think it's obvious.
I mean, maybe our regular viewers may well know who we've drawn, but maybe some of our newer viewers may not.
You have drawn Sid Snot from the Village People.
Yes.
And
the Village People?
Yeah, I'm joking. And I have drawn
Boris Johnson.
Fungus the Bogeyman mug. So once again, I can't quite bring myself to draw Fungus the Bogeyman. Because if I drew Fungus the Bogeyman, I'd be drawing like a copy of Raymond Briggs' artwork, and I don't want to do that. So I had to find a bit of Raymond Briggs merchandise so that I was drawing an object.
That's good thinking.
I do like your painting because it reminds me of how it was Sid Snot, and what was the other guy?
Gizzard Puke.
Gizzard Puke. And it's weird how his parodies of punk don't even look that punk now.
Well, I was thinking this watching it. I watched an episode the other week, and actually I really liked it. I don't think Sid Snot was ever meant to be punk, and we just thought it was.
Right.
Because he's dressed like a greaser from the 50s. He's a rocker. But I think us as kids assumed he was trying to be punk because we'd never seen greasers at that time in our lives.
I think
we probably only saw greasers later on when we started watching old films and stuff.
Also, is it just something to do with him choosing the name Sid and Sid Vicious?
I think that could be where we're making that connection as well.
Yeah.
But enjoy drawing that. The next one is, I'm not going to say their numbers now, but Fairy. Yeah.
Okay.
Fairy.
I think at this point I'm in Spain now, and I'm on holiday, and I've slightly given up.
Yeah. Well, I found this one really difficult to come up with anything, because I didn't want to draw a fairy on a toadstool or something. You know what? Now I think about it. Is it the Cottingley fairies?
Sorry?
The fake fairy. Do you remember the fake fairy photographs from the 30s? I think they were made. Girls claimed they'd photographed fairies.
Oh,
and they
yes. I do know what you're talking about, yes.
That could have been good to draw, but too late now. I've just remembered it. But,
certain words in the Inktober which I feel are really catnip for goths. I think like gargoyle and fairy. He knows what he's doing, and he's going for a certain kind of very sort of pristine kind of art that you see a lot of on Instagram. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just not. No. It's not made for us. But it's the first day where I actually just spelt the word out.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I've used it a couple of times. I think I've written it down. Well, I just went for 4 blokes doing Swan Lake.
The good thing is that at this point, or actually even before now, I wasn't paying attention to your Twitter, so I'm seeing a lot of these for the first time now.
Right. It's that classic thing of 4 men pretending to be ballerinas. It's always funny.
It's always funny.
So, did that. Next. These were mine.
Oh, okay.
Tempting.
Okay. Right. So, you shouldn't have said that. Because I was
sorry.
No. The reason why is because I was looking at your drawing and I was looking at my drawing, and I thought, I cannot remember what the word is. Yeah, very good. Very good from you.
Temptation.
I was on holiday in Spain now for definite, and I went to Cadiz, and this was a Fino Manzanilla bar. Didn't sell.
Right.
The guy inside was very proud and said, "I don't sell beer, I don't sell wine, don't sell anything. You come here for Fino, that's it, and just some olives and the thing." But the picture. Clearly, this is when I'm struggling. This is when I thought, how do I get this done? And I've drawn this very quickly whilst in there. So at least it's, my drawings now tend to be in a situation. A few drawings now are like me in Spain. Yeah. Grabbing whatever I can see. So these are 2 glasses of very dry Manzanilla.
Yep.
But what was interesting about this picture was I drew it and then someone tweeted me. Admittedly, there were a few clues in my Twitter that I was in Spain. Someone tweeted me and said, "Oh, are you in this bar in Cadiz?" And I was. And I thought that was amazing that he recognised the little olive, but he recognised something. This here, you can see this. This is chalk on the bar. And so what they do in the place is they just write down how much you spent. They just chalk. Yeah. So even though it's a very poor drawing, as you said, you may think it's a shit drawing, but you can tell what bar in Cadiz I'm in. So
yes,
is it really?
Very impressive.
As an aside as well, can I just say that I like Heaven 17. I think they're a good band. I hate that song. I really hated that song when I was young, and I hate it now. I hate that song, Temptation.
I don't mind it. Oh, yes. I know what this is. Do you remember?
This is Ego.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even want to spend much time on mine now. This is really where I'm sliding now. I'm really finding it hard to be fucking bothered. I just kind of Googled the Star Wars figure of Superman. You can even tell if we look at this drawing of Superman, and if we go back to when I drew, we had Bat, didn't we?
Yeah, Batman. There you go. Yes.
There you can see how much I could be bothered then.
Yeah.
Compared to now. It's like a quarter of the size on the page. So let's gloss over mine. Tell me about yours.
Okay. So I drew the 2 main singers from Van Halen. They've had 3.
Okay. Can I name them? Can I name them?
Yeah.
Is that David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. The third was Gary Chiron, who was a singer in Extreme, but he doesn't quite fit the term ego because I think he's a little bit more grounded than these 2 superstars who got the biggest egos in the world.
Imagine being the lead singer of Extreme. Like your band's called Extreme, and then someone saying that you're quite grounded. Like imagine a company would keep where you would be the grounded one.
True, yeah. But I mean, these 2 singers, big fans of them.
I am a
all their ridiculousness.
I'm a particular fan of Why Can't This Be Love from the Sammy Hagar era of Van Halen.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Oh, good.
Was this Snack?
Yes.
Okay.
What is yours?
It's like a little sort of muffin cake.
Right.
and it was at the breakfast bar in the hotel, and this cake was chosen and being consumed by my favourite person in the world. And and so once again, I mean, even though I'm getting a bit sloppy at this point, I was quite pleased that it was real and in front of me, and I was.
Yeah, it's like a little travel journal.
Yeah. So and this is the little sort of tissue paper around it, and I presume this is the brand.
I think so.
Yeah. Explain.
I drew a cannibal. I drew a zombie. Well, it's a zombie actually, eating some human flesh. And that's
you're much better at the lateral thinking with all this.
Well, that's from the Night of the Living Dead. Classic film.
I'm definitely much more route one with my ideas.
This is my I mean, if one of your drawings ever had some last minute energy, possibly that one, but there's actually quite a bit of work going into it at the same time.
I reckon it was done inside 5 minutes.
I like that. The perspective feels right.
I don't think that will do quality is so much in the drawing as in the idea, you know.
Yeah. The word is camping, by the way.
We know what yours is. That is Bernard Bresslaw, and actually, I don't know who the second character is. Is that hold on. Is that the other Kenneth?
No.
Tell me.
Sid.
Of course it's Sid. Why did I overthink it?
Yeah.
Of course it's Sid. I'm sorry.
That was a slightly rushed for me because I was. My friend
looks like they're in the same kind of tent that I've drawn here.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. They probably are. They're in one of those tents. It would have been amazing if you'd happened to add two little heads poking out of one.
Well, if I'd looked at yours more, at this point, I wasn't looking at Twitter much at all. I was,
Well, you're enjoying being in Spain.
A little bit, I mean, I could always find time in any hour to look at Twitter, but I still wasn't picking up your drawings in that hour. Oh, I'm quite pleased with my next one.
Go on, tell us what it is.
The word is uh-oh. And
Uh-oh.
I really struggled all day, and it really was about drawing whatever was in front of you.
Yeah.
I felt a broken Apple charger would be quite a universal uh-oh at the moment.
Yeah.
What is yours?
Mine is shampoo. Do you remember shampoo?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Trouble. Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
When
Suggested by my wife.
When Hefner first started playing in the London Camden bars, the two guys who were originally in Hefner, who didn't end up in any record, I was quite impressed because they knew menswear, and I think two of menswear were going out with shampoo. So
jealous.
If Rock Family Trees included people who've shagged other people, shampoo might just about be a footnote on the Hefner family tree. No, it wouldn't be. It would be if Rock Family Trees included people who you friends of friends knew and who they shagged. Yeah. Okay, moving quickly on.
Good pop. Gear. Oh, yes.
I mean, I think I'm going to say this is my worst one.
Okay. What synth is that?
It's a Prophet 5, but God, could you tell?
Oh, you could, oh yeah.
I just couldn't be asked. I was like, it's funny because if gear had come up in one of the first days, I would have been quite excited about drawing a simp because, as you know, I draw them ordinarily. But on day whatever this was, 29, 28, something like that. Actually, I think it might be day 30. I couldn't be asked anymore.
Yeah, it is 30. Yeah.
I like yours though, because you're using the Liverpool 60s slang version of the word gear, aren't you?
Yeah, it's totally gear, man. And I associate it more with George Harrison. Now, even though he doesn't say it in Hard Day's Night, but this is from the scene where he's telling the advertising people what the word like grotty is and stuff like that. I've never heard that. It's grotty. And he just seems like the Beatle who would be using the slang terms and stuff. So really pleased with this because I did sketch his face out. But I'm chuffed that the line of his nose isn't there.
Yeah.
You see it because you know I've managed to just imply it slightly.
Yeah.
I
know exactly what you're on about. It's two things, isn't it? It's the pulling out the black and the white, and it's the success of that. But it's also like not here. Everything I'm doing here is all about line. But as you know, in my paintings, I've been trying to stop using line and trying to think about how light reacts. I would also say that even though we don't make this, like we both know how annoying this is when portraiture is based only on its ability to capture likeness. I know that we both get annoyed by that, but yet that really, really does look like George Harrison instantly.
Yeah, I agree. I really like it.
So well done. And
I did that thing also. I asked about the word gear on Twitter just to confirm that am I remembering that right as a slang term?
Yeah.
And, I asked one. I'm not going to say which one, but I asked one of our Beatley friends on Twitter, and
it was Hugh,
and he was, and in fact, the minute I asked, I then replied and said, "Oh, actually, I've confirmed this. I'm right. It is correct. You agreed." And that didn't stop countless other people telling me what it meant, even though I'd already confirmed that I knew what it was.
It's really curious, isn't it? Because we think of like teenagers and youths now doing really odd and unpredictable things with language. But, that's a really early example of it. I mean, how on earth did that come about? It was clear and it was good.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Always changing.
And of course, like McCartney's brother adopts the name Mike McGear.
Mike McGear. Yeah.
Do you know the Mike McCartney album from the early 70s where he's sort of like Gulliver and he's got all the things like Gulliver's a giant and he's got all the ropes pinning it down? Do you know that album?
I know of it, still never heard it.
It's really, really fucking good. And
I keep hearing that.
Paul and Linda are all over it, and it's Denny Lane.
Right.
And it's really, really good. It's a really good album. Like if you're a fan of McCartney and post Beatles and ersatz Beatles, like, things like
Emmett Rhodes.
All that sort of stuff. The Mike McGear album's a great extra dose of Beatle-esque songwriting.
I'll listen while I'm working tomorrow, I think. Okay. Final day. Bam.
Tell me what I can't quite read yours from my little phone screen here.
It's Ralph and Ted from The Fast Show. And Ralph is saying, do you like magic mushrooms, Ted? And Ralph's saying, and he's going against expectation here. Ralph says, I fucking love them, sir.
It's a really inspired sketch idea, isn't it? The one where the one where he has to inform him that his wife's dead is a classic, isn't it?
Possibly, it's one of the greatest sketches in British comedy ever.
It's really, really good. See if you can link it in case anyone hasn't seen it. Link it in the thing, the Ralph and Ted sketch.
I can probably find that.
I'm sure it'll be. Yeah. I did this today, which is actually the 1st of November today. I was walking around a market over in that direction, and someone had Playmobil figures, and he had a little farm set up because I was really struggling. So these are little Playmobil figures in Oviedo Market.
The one in the middle.
This. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I didn't know when I saw it. It's got Twitter Abbey written all over it, isn't it?
It reminds me, I just listened to a podcast today called Thick Lines. It's a cartoon podcast, cartooning and comics. And they talk about a book by Daniel Clowes, who wrote Ghost World. And
I like Dan Clowes. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So the book is called, I think it's Velvet Fist in an Iron Glove. And there's a dog that has no orifices at all. It's no mouth, no eyes, nothing. It's just a dog-shaped, like, ball of fur. And it just reminds me of that. It's the shape of an animal, but there's no face.
Well, here's something good I'm going to take from Inktober, is that you talked before about my lack of sketchbooking. And I brought this sketchbook purely for Inktober, and it has all my Inktober drawings in it. Yeah. And obviously it's only, God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only an 8.4. Oh, sorry, it's changed my aspect. And I'm going to finish this book. I mean, I'm not going to do it every day, but I'm only going to do black and white in this book.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep
that little thing. I mean, you hint, when you drew the snacks, that little muffin thing, that's a good thing. And the olives as well. It's like you're sitting at a bar, just draw your drink or your snack.
We're quite down on Inktober a little bit. And I mean, I still applaud the idea. I think it's good. I think it's good for a lot of people to suggest things they wouldn't draw. I think the thing is with me and you is we're not stuck for things to draw.
No.
And so some days I was like, I've got loads of things I want to draw. I don't want to draw a fucking hamburger.
Yeah, it's like on Sunday, which was like day 30. I did the Inktober, it was Big George, and then I had to draw my own thing. I spent most of Sunday night drawing like Paul McCartney inspiration. That's like, I need to do my own thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be down on Inktober. I think it's a great thing, but
it is good.
Maybe next October, I write the prompts for you and you write the prompts for me or something.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out because we both mentioned that we wanted to see if what else was out there.
There's one brilliant one.
I really struggled. Yeah, I sent you one, my favourite one, because most of what I saw just didn't grab me. It wasn't necessarily bad or anything like that. It just didn't really appeal to me. But there was one I saw on Instagram.
There's loads of artists doing much better stuff than us. It's not about ability, I mean, I'm sure lots of people might have looked at mine under the hashtag and thought, this guy can't even be asked. It's not about talent. There's people way more talented than us doing it. It's just the words. They just didn't grab me,
Yeah. But this one guy, he's called Drivel Siv on Instagram, and he's on Twitter, I think. And he did a tiny little animation for each prompt for each day, and he's put them all together in one like reel on Instagram, and they are so inventive and simple, and somehow not the obvious joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You mentioned it. Some of them track back to other ones and really good.
And somehow you saw one and thought, oh, that's the word, but then he put another meaning of the word on top. It has to be seen to be understood. But he was doing what I wish I had done if I was more imaginative. It was really great.
Yeah. And his whole Instagram account is great as well. There's lots of really good videos.
Let's definitely link to someone better than us. That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. Spread the love.
Okay. Well, thank you, Inktober, for a wonderful month.
Say goodbye, Darren. That's it. Say goodbye. Come on, say it.
Goodbye, Darren.
Goodbye, Darren.